better here. They were not playing well. Patrick and I are not good friends. We are great friends. And he's done he wasn't happy with the scene. And then they had one of the best halves that he's had at Georgetown. I mean, Texas is a heck of a team. And when I watched that, I said, oh, they found themselves. So I think they found themselves. They have depth, but they have really good guards. Yurt 7 is really good. And if you double them, you can find somebody. And he hit every shot down the stretch. For us, though, we were okay. They were 2s, not 3s. We were hoping to miss one. He didn't. And not foul. But when you have that combination in depth, I think they could be pretty good. I mean, really, really good.
Coach, how did you think your team handled the Georgetown's press today, specifically your freshman window?
For the most part, great. And then we made a couple turnovers that they forced, with their intensity. We can say it's supposed to be easy, but you're first of all, you're in this heavyweight fight. You're tired, and I thought we made a couple tired turnovers when they put the press on, but we also scored quickly. Wendell was a star during that. He made a turnover or two, but his move, like from half court a couple times, take it to the basket, they were huge. They were huge for us. So we handled it. We had our pressure free throws. We won a really tough game. Nothing's perfect because they played well too. So we did just a little bit more than they did.
Yeah, Mike, a lot of people talk this year about what you guys aren't or who you aren't. What did you learn about who your team is here this week?
Well, I think we felt starting practice that we could be good defensively with Trey there and depth. And so we've really devoted most of our practice time to defense. And as a result, I think we've gotten tougher and we've learned to play defense. We've also spent a lot of time in rebounding. And the differential in rebounding tonight was significant to the win. And tough boards. And then we're finding ourselves offensively. I'm still learning about Vernon. I knew he'd be good. He's like really good. And so our perimeter has not scored. And tonight, Wendell and Cassius had 38 points. So here, concentrating on defense maybe gave Wendell and Cassius a little bit more confidence that leads to better offense. So we're going to continue to try to find out about ourselves, and you find out when you play games like this.
Coach Cal Griffin of All Things Hoops. Can you elaborate on Cassius Stanley's play and what he's going to mean to the team moving forward?
Yeah, well, he's been very efficient. He's right after Vernon, he's the leading field goal percentage guy on our team, and tonight he showed it again. And he can drive the ball to the basket, he's just a really good player. And I think at times, like the first 10 minutes of the game today, we were very young and knocked back. And then once he got his grade, same thing happened a little bit yesterday. He was not as good in the first half, and then he got it going. He made some big time plays for us tonight. Really big time plays.
I was wondering how you might compare the development and the immediate impact of Vernon to other power big guys you've had recently, like Jaleel, how he was the first few weeks. I remember you raved about Marvin in Portland at the PK80, even Zion. They're different kind of players, but your level of expectation for how much he'd be a factor and how he's potentially exceeded it, and just his growth over the past 2 weeks into being this kind of guy.
Yeah, well, when we recruited him, everyone said he didn't have a motor, and he was just a big guy. And I always thought he's a really good basketball player who had to learn how to run, and he could play hard. He had a great attitude, and every day he works with us, and then Nate James works with him. He's invested, and he has finesse too, and he has good feet. He can, he's not just a big guy. He's a good basketball player, and I got to figure out a little bit more how to use him. It's not like he's not getting the ball in that, but we could use him. I think we could use him better, because I knew he'd be good. He's better. He's better, and he's a really good competitor, and he shows poise. He checks a lot of boxes. So Bagley was more of a power forward. Job was a center, and this kid is a little bit of both, and he's a really good player. He's a hell of a teammate. So, yeah.
Mike, what do you attribute the slow starts like you had in a few games this year offensively?
Well, they're playing better than we are. Human nature.
Is it different every game, or is it the same thing?
No, I don't know if we've always had. We've only played a few games, so I don't know if there's enough in there to say that you always do that. But just remember that we've played 2 games in 24 hours. We didn't get out of here until about 12:30 last night. Back to the hotel after 1. I'm sure these guys didn't sleep much. We got them up at 10, breakfast, scouting, and then we didn't even use our time here. We told them to go to bed. So they went to bed, they didn't have lunch, and we got them up for a training meal at 3:30. It's an unusual day, so they've never been through a day like that. So you're gonna get variance, because there's not stability. This is we played on 3 Fridays. We never play on Friday. The first 6 games, 3 of them are in Cameron and 3 of them are in the Garden. It's not bad. It's just kind of nuts. There's no set way.
I asked Trey about the first minute of the second half. What did you think about the way your team came out?
Yeah, well, he made that play, and then he didn't score in the first half, so I had a play for him that I thought would work right away. He got a layup on it, and then we got a rebound, and Vernon ran, so he had his fingerprints on 2 buckets that he made and another one. In this game, getting 6 easy points. But, that was big.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll take it.
I just want Matthew Hurt didn't play in the second half, so
Yeah.
I wondered if that was a strategy, if it had to do with the fatigue 2 games. So I'm just curious as to the what.
Just think Jack White was playing better.
Okay.
Just like, if I read 3 of your articles and yours was better,
Well, that
I
goes
read yours
without.
tomorrow before his.
That goes without
But I don't
saying,
think,
yeah.
because I'm recommending him for a Pulitzer. No, really, he's a hell of a guy. Even though he's a St. Louis Cardinal fan.